Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
All right, Alana is on the Good for Utah Road Tour at Bear Lake State Park. Alana, I can't see your beautiful face, but I can see you're parked right there in the sand. It looks balmy.
It's beautiful, Lindsay. It's a fantastic day. And yeah, I was just trying to soak up the sun like the rest of the beachgoers here at Rendezvous Beach, Bear Lake State Park, our last stop on the Good for Utah Road Tour. And what a day to hit it. Beautiful sunshine. You can see I'm not the only one who had the idea to get out and enjoy. It's incredible. And we noticed that those temperatures have really jumped. Let's take a look at the temperatures right now at Bear Lake as we kind of get a view here. 83 degrees. We've got a light breeze because, well, it's Bear Lake, right? If you've been, you know breezy conditions like to hang on, but it is stunning. Lots of sunshine, the sand is warm, it's not too hot, and the water is just perfect. That water temperature at 67 degrees right now. We really noticed that the temperatures jumped today. We talked about the warming trend yesterday and how it would pick up and really continue. Well, here we are. We jumped to average seasonal norms yesterday, and now we're above average. We were below average for several days with that cooler air, but that has since moved on. Now it's all about the heat. When you talk about hot conditions, you have to also mention dry conditions. It's Thursday, so the latest drought numbers are out. And as we look at those percents, you can see that moderate drought rising to more than 90% of Utah. So we've definitely see those conditions worsening just a little bit. Severe drought at 43% for the Beehive State. Now, when I show this, I want you to keep in mind that an area can be in two categories at once. You have to have moderate drought to get to severe, and that's why those won't equal 100. Dry conditions, I don't need to tell you that. We've been talking about wildfires for the last several days, which means our fire fuel is ripe and ready to burn. As you take a look at our Black Desert time-lapse video, you'll notice we've got sunshine down there, but hazy sunshine at that, and at times smoke-filled skies with the Forsyth fire burning in the area and definitely impacting air quality for some. Now, that smoke is going to stick around as long as these fires burn. Where is it headed? Well, I want to show you the air quality impacts first, and then I'm going to take you on the path of the smoke. Moderate air is out there in several locations, including Cache Valley, Box Elder County, where we are with those hazy skies. But we know that ozone levels are high with the heat of the day, so we see ozone levels pushing that air quality into the moderate category. But we do have some elevated particulate matter, especially in places like Iron, Washington County, and the Wasatch Back, which is why those areas land in the moderate category. We, of course, will keep you posted when it comes to these air quality impacts. How about where the smoke is going? Our Futurecast smoke model really likes to keep you in the know, like to forewarn you when thicker plumes are headed your way. Winds will dictate this. Light smoke along the Wasatch Front, thicker plumes into central Utah, and of course the south, especially into the overnight as those winds relax. Smoke on the move, and as long as we continue to burn with these fires, the winds will push this into different portions of the state. That includes for your Friday and then into our weekend. So hazy skies on the horizon. You noticed that with a few of those sunset photos we received last night. We get through the next 48 hours with thicker smoke in southwestern and south central Utah. Places like Kane, Garfield, Iron, and Washington County all look to see those impacts in the next few days. Temperatures now knocking on the door of 90 degrees in Logan. We've hit the 90s in places like Salt Lake, 92, 93 along the Wasatch Front. Average this time of year is 88, so we're above that by several degrees, and we're going to keep that pattern going. 97 in St. George, low 90s over towards Lake Powell, and we've got 80s and 90s on the eastern side of the state. Over the next several hours, you're going to notice those numbers going from the 90s to the 80s. If you're going to be stepping out, we will cool down ever so slightly. Dry conditions, partly cloudy skies in some areas, but overall mostly clear, and we'll see a clear overnight with dry skies expected. As we head into tomorrow, this ridge of high pressure really going to impact us. As we look at the upper level Futurecast, you see that area of high pressure is a four corners high. It sets up and it's going to strengthen, which means temperatures will continue to rise. We're looking at peak heating with that ridge as we head into early next week. You see that system towards the Pacific Northwest that could uptick winds Friday into Saturday. So forewarning you now, we could see an elevated fire risk for a portion of your weekend. I'll keep you posted on that. But then as we head into the middle of next week, we start to see the ridge break down and a more active pattern, starting to hint at that with the weather models, displacing the ridge, bringing the chance of some moisture. With that four corners high, we often see that monsoon flow, and July is next week, which means the North American monsoon and the impacts of the Beehive State right around the corner. So we could be opening the door and letting the moisture in the way of thunderstorms. We'll see what happens. But for now, that ridge is the main weather headline. Looking at the temperatures for tomorrow from the beach at Bear Lake, not a bad day at the office, I tell you that. Mid-90s for tomorrow. We'll see those 90s along the Wasatch Front, triple digits in southern Utah. High 90s expected in places like Grant County, eastern Utah, warming things up. Next 7 days in St. George, hot and windy. We're getting into that stage. With the average being 100, this is one of the hottest times of the year, so the triple digits are going to hang on for the next 7 days in southern Utah. Peak heating on Monday with that 107 cooking down there, and if the winds pick up, that's where we could see some fire danger, which we already have experienced this year. Looking at the Wasatch Front over the next 7 days, you're going to notice those conditions in the 90s. We're going to get to high 90s by Monday. Now, put 99 on the 7-day. I think 100 degrees is very possible for the Wasatch Front on Monday. I'm forewarning you early. I think the winds are going to pick up and we could hit that 100. See how those temperatures stay well above the average of 88 for the next several days. And we're so dry, but we will see moisture. It's just not going to happen for Salt Lake in the next several days, including your weekend. So gorgeous views. And if you need to cool off, well, gosh, I'm showing you where to go. Bear Lake and Rendezvous Beach, one of the best spots in the state. Ending road tour on a high note. You may know about it, but you don't know all the fun you can have here, and that's what I'm going to show you. Stay on top of the forecast by downloading that ABC4 Weather app. If you have your phone, which we all watch TV with it, right? We're all double duty. Just take a picture of that QR code that just popped up on your screen. It will take you to the App Store where you can download our app for free and you can be forewarned with the forecast on the go.